What's happening? It's your man Money B from Digital Underground, Mandatory Music, MASK, and the KNN. And this is an interview for drugrats.com.
It just doesn't get better than this, does it?
Of course, you know, we've toured relentlessly, so we've actually, you name any group that comes from our era, we've toured and performed with them. As far as our greatest performances or most memorable performances, I would have to say when we first did the Apollo. We did Showtime at the Apollo, and anyone that's seen it, we were on Showtime at the Apollo, which is aired on TV, but we kind of put a twist on it. We wanted to act like we were coming out as contestants, like we were from Beaumont, Texas, and we our plan was to come out and do the wackest song that we could do, and then surprise everybody and take the bags off our head and do the performance. Well, what we made sure we didn't tell the people, I think it was Mark Curry who was hosting it, or I forget who was hosting. I want to say Mark Curry or somebody like that. He had no idea. The Sandman had no idea, and of course the audience had no idea. And the one thing is, everybody knew if I talked, people would know my voice automatically because my voice is so distinguishable. So we went out, we rubbed the wood or whatnot, and we had the bags over our head, and Shock was like, we're from Beaumont, Texas. And he asked me something, and I just shook my head. I had the bag on my head. He's like, oh, he don't talk. And then we went out, and the music came on like Smoke Hammer, like ding, 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 ding. He was like, we're the unknown rappers. Yes, we are. Unknown rappers, going far. And the whistle went off, when you get booed off stage, like boo, boo, the whistle went off. The Sandman came out to snatch us off the stage. Then we took the bags off our head and the curtains opened up, you seen our banner, and everybody just went nuts. Like you couldn't hear shit. It's like the roof was coming off. We rocked that motherfucker. But that was it. Another memorable performance that we did, I want to say when we were on the Budweiser Superfest back in the day, and we were doing Coliseums, and when we came home to Oakland, and Tupac was on tour with us at the time. It was our first tour, and we killed that. But another funny thing about that was Tupac, he's originally from New York, then Baltimore, then Marin City, so he wasn't from Oakland. So he got on, he's hyping the crowd, and he's all like, East Oakland in the house, ah, West Oakland, ah. He's like, South Oakland in the house, ah. And we just cracking up because there is no South Oakland. And he's on the fucking stage at the Oakland Coliseum talking about where's South Oakland at, and make some noise or some shit like that. So of course we clowned him, laughed and shit. Another performance when we performed at Wembley Stadium in London, England. That was crazy because they blow them horns, all that, and it was with Run DMC and Public Enemy and Jungle Brothers at the time. It was the hottest groups out or whatnot, and we killed that too. As far as performances that I've seen, the most memorable performance that I've ever seen as far as hip-hop rap goes is when I went to, of course, the Fresh Fest when I was little was very influential. Influenced me greatly with Houdini and Rakim and Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Run DMC, Beastie Boys and all that. But as far as the performance that blew me away was when Too Short opened up the Fresh Fest or LL Cool J concert at the Oakland Coliseum, and this was before Too Short really came on a national scene. This was Born to Mac album was out, and it had a Dolphin beat, but it was like an Oakland anthem. So when he came on, he had a whole Coliseum, 21,000 people, all saying the word for word, this song that everybody else, like LL and Slick Rick, they was like, what the fuck is this shit that everybody's singing? They couldn't believe it, because none of the performances after that at that show were as live as when Short came out, because he had the whole city behind him and nobody understood it. As a matter of fact, I think they kicked the plug. Somebody kicked the plug. I think they said it was LL or whatever, but that was the shit. Another time was when we went on a Public Enemy tour, and I think we did like 30 or 45 cities, and every night, because Public Enemy would close the show, every night, me, Tupac, and Tretch from Naughty by Nature, he was like a roadie for Latifah at the time. They weren't even out. We would sneak out into the audience every night, no matter what city we was, and watch their show. The show was that dope. Public Enemy and Flav and S1Ws and Griff and Terminator X. That was some shit right there. Probably one of the best concerts I've ever seen in hip hop. Back in the day, as far as groups that influenced me to musically to get further out there, I won't say musically any groups influenced me, but lyrically, De La Soul definitely influenced me. And a lot of people want to talk about De La Soul, the Daisy Age, and how they sampled this, sampled that. De La never really got props for their lyrics and their styles. I mean, back in the day, everybody used to talk about, I got many styles and I can flip a style and blah, blah, blah. But if you really peep, De La Soul was actually a group that would have a different style for every single song. You go back, when they would do just every one of their songs, from plug tuning to Me, Myself, and I, the cadence and the style and the flow, they would always change, and they were always clever, and they had lyrics. I mean, De La definitely influenced me to push myself lyrically and to try to come up with different styles and cadences and flows, and just to try to do something different. Back then I wasn't making beats, so I didn't give a fuck about the beat. I just wanted to rap, so that's where I was with it. But of course, I was more influenced by rappers and lyrics than I was more so by any musical style, because I just felt like I could rock over anything. Just give me a beat. As far as funk, R&B bands and whatnot, I want to say Parliament, Funkadelic, and all that was really more of Shock G's thing, because he was the leader of the group. More of his influence was in the music. I was cool with it, but my influence, if you want to say R&B, I come from Prince, Time, Morris Day. As far if you're talking about sampling their music, I was into any of the old. I was into disco. I loved disco when I was a little kid. I liked like Slave and but I was a hip hop head, so I wanted to dig in the crates and find all those old break beats and samples that you couldn't find. I was and always have been really into reggae and dancehall. So that's probably, if any kind of music influenced me all around, it's probably reggae and dancehall music, because it inspired me lyrically, and as far as music that I chose, or bass lines and drum patterns and shit that I would want Fuse or Shock to use in songs or whatever. But as far as the R&B and funk stuff, I grew up with all that shit, so I was down with it.